Bienvenue au Quebec and welcome to Apex Racing TV. We are at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, in Canada. And, well, we're here for some fantastic racing in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Hello, everybody. I'm Andrew Woodhouse. And I'm joined with Adam Bath. And Adam, well, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, it's always one of our favourite places to go. We went from one street circuit in Detroit to another. And this is a great place for a race, isn't it?
Really is. We were at my favourite circuit on the schedule a couple of weeks ago, Donington. Now I think we'll probably come to one of yours. It is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're really at it's the Festival of Street Circuits, isn't it? At the moment in the BSRTC, we're at Belle Isle last week for some pretty entertaining racing there. Now we head to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which is got a lot more straights than Belle Isle and a good bit more overtaking opportunities. So. Really intrigued to see what these guys are going to do over the next three races, and we've got another 30 car size grid for this one, so this should be good.
Yeah, I love this place. It's one of those tracks that you look on the map there. It looks fairly straightforward, but each of those little chicanes completely different to the other. There's a couple of fairly fast corners for the Kia Optima in there as well, which should provide some interesting action along the way. And there's some overtaking opportunities into the hairpin and into the final chicane too. Ross McFarlane will be hoping he doesn't have to overtake anybody. He puts his V-Racer car on pole position with a 141.121. Wojciech Savinovic in second place with Sven Glatzel in third. Sterling Chepelevsky in fourth. Fifth is Jack Sedgwick. And then it's Stephen Baxter in sixth. First of the AMs is Maciej Sakovic in seventh, ahead of George Simmons in eighth. Daniel Brown in ninth. Adam McNally 10th. 11th is Michael Blake, ahead of Pete Harrod. And then it's Adam Hedgecock in 13th. Mark Woodhouse in 14th. David Baker in 15th. Chris Wood in 16th. 17th is Jack McIntyre. 18th for Robert Lundgren. Robert Graham in 19th. Will Daniels in 20th. 21st is Scott Malcolm. 22nd is Max Wright. 23rd is John Roberts. Then it's Carl Hardy. James Ritchie is in 25th with Jamie Rushworth 26th. Daniel Hunt 27th. 28th, Kip Stevens 29th. Paul Smith. And then in 30th and last is Sean Gardner. So a few fairly big names at the back, Adam, and McFarlane will be hoping he uses that fairly short run to turn one to his advantage.
Yeah, let's see who can get the best run away from the line. Obviously, it's the racing line is pretty much in the middle of the circuit, so both sides are at a relative disadvantage. But then we've got the centre S, and if you're on the outside, you can quickly get up the inside if you catch the guy in front napping, as I'm sure you were well aware from when we raced here a couple of years ago now in the BSRTC, and was able to win. Here we go then, getting set for the first race.
First lap's always a difficult one then. Who is going to negotiate this? Lights are out, we're away. Really good start by Wojciech Savinovic, and he's already cleared McFarlane into turn one. That's not what the Scotsman wanted. Savinovic into the lead then, and brilliant start for him. Yeah,
textbook get away from him. And not too many other drivers have made positions in the early going as we go into the second of the chicanes. Bit of jostling there between the two Team Mad cars and a few CQR cars in there too for good measure, but it looks like everybody, all 30 of them, have made it through the first few corners without incident.
You have to be very careful not to get a slowdown or hit the wall as one of the CQR cars did in the back. I think it's Jamie Rushworth who rubbed that outside Armco barrier. John Roberts is getting involved there with one of the Excite Energy cars as well. I believe that is Scott Malcolm. And onwards though, it looks like everybody may have survived without incident. I think they have.
Yeah, it looks like for the most part everybody has got away without too much incident. The bad starters in the field, Maciej Sakovic down 4 places. Dan Brown is dropping down the order. Looks like a slowdown penalty for him, and he's going to have his work cut out already because this is one of the quickest circuits we go to all year. Very tough on the brakes too.
That was my next point actually, Adam, was that you've got to be very careful not to pick up a slowdown. Very easy to do if you get your braking wrong, go over the grass or something. And here comes George Simmons then. He's fighting, not necessarily fighting with Jack Sedgwick. They are teammates, even though running different liveries for sponsorship reasons. Oh, Sedgwick hits the curb hard, very nearly into the wall of champions. This allows Simmons to get a run. And looks like George is going to make it through. Oh, crash in the back. And that's a V-Racer car into the wall of champions. And I wonder if that's going to be suspension damage for is that car 111 I see there? Which, if it is, it might be. Oh, sorry, William Daniels. It could be car 112.
Or maybe.
Oh, it's car 222.
Car 222. It was Dan Brown.
Damn them
again.
and their numbering.
Dan Brown again, and he was one of the drivers of the slowdown penalty earlier, and he's now right in the field as a result of it, and looks like he's got away without too much damage. But yeah, a couple of V-Racer cars down there nearly going as somebody rubs the wall on the exit. That looked like
Rushworth again, I think.
Yeah, Jamie Rushworth in the CQR car. Not having the best of things at the moment, as at the inside there goes Dan Hunt on his teammate. This is Scott Malcolm versus Dan Hunt, and it looks like it's going to be Hunt that comes out on top.
First year I raced here, I remember that first sector, that infield section was really, really tricky because all the tyres were absolutely freezing. Everyone was losing it. There were massive crashes. Thankfully, the Kia Optima seems a lot easier on the opening lap now than it used to be. Still got to watch it a little bit, but not too much, as Savinovic leads then from McFarlane in second, Glatzel third, and Stelian Chepelevsky bringing up fourth position.
Running on board here with the V-Racer car, the Scotsman. Adam Hedgecock's dropping down the order. Something has gone awry here.
I reckon he's had a spin at the hairpin, and it looks like it is the case.
On
the exit of the hairpin, he must have been quarter panelled into that wall, surely.
There it is. This is Chris Wood that he is going to be entangled with, it looks like. And the outside goes...
Chris Wood with the green trim. I'm not sure who the other one is. Oh,
16.
Woodhouse, was it?
16 is Chris Wood. 18 is Mark Woodhouse, yeah.
And there goes Adam Hedgecock into the fence.
And
as Simmons sets the fastest lap of the race. So not only did he take Sedgwick, but he's also made a fair bit of headway towards this leading group. And leading 4 might become a leading 8, Adam, with the way Simmons is going.
Yeah, he's not too far away, is he? Last time around 42.7, which was 3 times a second quicker than even Wojciech Svidovic himself. So Simmons might be able to help drag Sedgwick and Baxter with him to the front group. And obviously the Kia Optima, as we well know, is pretty good when it comes to slipstreaming. So with a gap of around about a second, if I get my Alex Simpson hat on here, that should be enough for you to tow up to the car in front.
Where is the scallywag? He's not turned up again this week. Not really sure why. I'll have to investigate that at some point, but whether he's had enough or not, I'm not sure. He's here we go into the hairpin then, snaking around under braking is Sven Glatzel, trying not to, and desperately not to hit his teammate. That's been one of the things V-Racer have struggled with a little bit. All the teams, I think, struggle with friendly fire at some point, don't they?
Oh, definitely. That's why I never get employed for a team. Into the chicane at the end.
Savinovic then.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. It's probably why nobody offers me to drive a full season either, because I don't bring the car home in one piece very often, shall we say. Oh, speaking of which, into the wall hard. It looks like Maciej Sakovic, and then an Automatic Knock Hill is in there too.
That's Max Roll.
Oh, and an Excite Energy's crashed with McRitchie on his roof.
He's done for the day. He's back in the pits. Chaos at the final corner. Many in the wall of champions. Michael Blake looks like it was the Team Mad card that.
I think, Adam, that's 3 separate incidents. It was it was Sakovic, Adam, who ended up in the wall. So we're going to watch this.
Oh, this is a separate incident. Let's have a look at it further on. Here we go.
So here he goes. He hits that first curb very hard, pitches him into the wall. Largely looks like he got away with that, to be fair. And then there's separate incidents in the back.
Oh, maybe a bit too far back.
Yeah, but it was the Automatic Knock Hill had crashed into the wall. I don't know if that was a separate incident or what.
Yeah, we'll get it this time. Here he is, Rob Graham, into the final chicane. Oh, it was the other one. It was Max Wright.
It's the other one. So Graham had already seen it. So tell you what, we'll go again.
Third time luck. Here we go.
Oh my word! That's where he went, and then somebody lost it trying to avoid it. And then I think it's McNally in 30. Oh no, it's Malcolm in 31. Ends up sort of getting quarter panelled by McRitchie, and then McRitchie just ends up getting absolutely wiped out by the other car that was a bit out of control, but not not really anybody's fault there, I don't think.
Credit to one of the V-Racer cars for dodging out of the way the moment that Max Wright managed to roof but the tyre barrier there going through the final chicane.
That's a spectacular one at that final corner. I tell you don't see many as exciting as that in terms of crashes. Chepelewski and Simmons now nose to tail. They've put 2 seconds on Jack Sedgwick then in the last 3 laps or so.
Get knock hill on the iRacing calendar, and I bet we've seen many Kia options rolling at that one with the curbs that they have.
They'll be all over the place, won't they?
Sure, there's a glitch on R Factor 1 that.
Here's the thing: are we getting Silverstone by the way in this new build? Are we?
Oh no, I don't know if it's this build. They sent out first look, didn't they? I think Catalunya is closer than that to coming out. So just as it gets ditched from the F1 calendar, the curse of the
perfect time to have it on iRacing, though, eh?
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a great track. They'll go crawling back to there. I tell you, they will. In F1, maybe some redesign needed for that circuit. It's a great circuit, but sort of has it's a brilliant track to drive. I love driving it, but the racing sometimes it leaves a little bit to be desired, especially in the high-powered cars. But that's another story for another day. And we usually get great racing here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Hopefully, we'll get that next week. But
yeah, that lift from Simmons.
Yeah, they're all being quite nice to each other, aren't they? In race 1, nice line by Simmons.
You did mention that Simmons, he was about a second away the last time we checked in on him. Now he's within a tenth or two of potentially getting the lead in a scrap for the lead as they come across the line. New personal best by Sedgwick.
He was by far the fastest driver in the top 6 that time, by over a second. Oh my God!
One of them's got to slow down. That's 18 Woodhouse. Here is Paul Smith.
So it's Wood, Smith and Roberts, isn't it? Yeah.
Paul Smith is almost our biggest mover in the field. Dan Hunt's gained 1 further place. Paul Smith's gained 12 since the start. Dan Hunt's gained 13 since we got going here.
Smith is decent around here. I think he's very good at Bathurst, and I think we have that bit of. He's got that bit of Bathurst about it, I think, in a way.
Bathurst without the elevation, probably would.
Yeah, very similar in a lot of the corners, really.
Meanwhile, problem for George Simmons. Just when we mentioned him, it looks like he's probably got a slowdown penalty. No damage to the car, so that will probably be the reason. And he's now 1.6 seconds away.
Does he have damage? That thing's bouncing around a bit strangely, isn't it?
2 people that have Adam McNally's
Does he have
crashed.
damage, Adam? It looks like. No, I think he might be alright. He just looks a bit weird for a second. They might catch back up, though, to be fair.
I'm confident in that. Here is the good battle going on for between 2 AM drivers. We haven't really mentioned the Pro-Am fight. So it's currently being headed by McNally and Daniels, but here is a good scrap between Mark Woodhouse and Robert Lundgren. Woodhouse has been in the wars here as Lundgren slightly moves across the track going into the chicane, and it looks like he's going to be able to outbrake the Team Mad car, but misses the corner.
It. Oh, and Woodhouse has missed has completely bungled the exit, so it looks like Rob Graham's going to go through.
Thanks very much, guys.
2 places gained. There you go. You'll take it.
Oh, I thought that Kip Stevens was going to smash into the back of them going into the first corner there, and there is Kip in P22. This is around about the region where the reverse grid's going to happen today, and Kip will be looking to benefit from that.
Woodhouse trying to go through. Bang! Into Graham. They touch wheels.
Side here is dangerous. Ooh.
It's a difficult corner. And the Kia Optima and Lundgren hits Stevens.
Bang, and the Kia is gone. Kip Stevens going to get going again, but the Kia is heavily damaged. And
that could well be a meatball for the 2-time champion. And Robert Lundgren, I think he got it all wrong. Looks like he just missed his braking completely. Let's have a look. We're about to get rather large whack here, I think. Duff, there you go. Great camera angle. Not so much for Stevens because it's facing the wrong way. You don't want the camera at the rear of the car to be facing the way you're supposed to be going.
No.
Is the point, I think, there. Top 5 then separated by only 1.8 seconds. Oh, and this is side by side. Oh my word! It's Will Daniels getting all out of shape. Here comes Sakovic, and he's just been in the battle with Baker as Daniels.
Another slowdown penalty there. That was somebody in the background there. That was one of the Excite cars. I think that was Dan Hunt. Oh, look at this! Daniels and Sakovic now going into battle, going into the Senna S, and that's going to be the V-Racer car ahead. This is a fight for 2nd and 3rd in the Pro-Am standings, by the way.
Yeah, Adam McNally leading the way in the category at the moment, in 9th. 2.4 seconds ahead of Dave Baker.
In terms of the championship...
Struggled to stay there.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it's Michael Blake that's leading the way in the AM category. He's currently sat in 15th place, which is fourth in the Pro-Am category.
Blake and Smith very close together in that one.
Yeah, and one driver that isn't here today is Ash Sutton. He leads the championship overall going into this one. So, golden opportunity for Wojciech Savidovic to gain some points back as the evening unfolds.
Is he racing this weekend, Sutton, is he?
Oh, it was Fruxton last week. I think they've got a week off before the championship heads to Croft.
Ah, I see. Daniels then at the... Oh, going very wide. Whoever that was, that's Baker, who got a really good exit out of there. You've got to be so patient in the hairpin. Because the key, the way the front tyres are, you just want to sort of nurse it through. And you can only really apply the power at them when you've got clear track in front of you, such as the understeer.
The final
but you don't want to kill the front tyres either. Sorry.
Yeah, the final chicane's going to be tough on these front tyres as well, because it's incredibly difficult to thread the car through without taking too much curb and getting a slowdown, or taking too much curb and going off into the wall, as many of the drivers have done so far today. They'll be learning as they go on, as we ride on board here with Jack Sedgwick, who is still got a fantastic view of the front 4 in front of him, but trying to find a way past Stelian Chepelevsky is proving to be pretty tough at the moment, as everybody is all still line astern.
So I've done, I think it's 3 race meetings here, and one thing I really worked on in the last time I was here was just making the tyres last, just going a little bit easier at the beginning of the race, because they do take a beating around here. They really do, front tyres. I'm quite fortunate. I've got a driving style which doesn't really take a lot out of the front tyres. I'm more not great on the rears sometimes, but I try and be smooth. And that's a slowdown for
teammates.
Oh no! Well, that's all gone to hell, hasn't it?
We did mention friendly fire. That was an intentional friendly fire, but I don't know where Sven Glatzel's going. He's trying
crashed into the wall. Now he's going the wrong way.
He's actually driving the wrong way around the circuit.
Oh no! That'll be a penalty. That's going to be a penalty. That's just not great, really. Yeah, not great. Chepelevsky and Sedgwick then are now battling for 2nd and 3rd, and they wouldn't have thought that. Evolution Racing Team 1, 2 and 3 at the moment.
On a plate, but given to them on a plate by V-Racer there. So what looked like happened, just from us watching that from the onboard of Sedgwick, it looked like that Ross McFarlane got a slowdown, was trying to slot back into the position without losing a place to Stelian Chepelevsky, and then it resulted in both V-Racer cars.
Quarter-panelled himself.
Yeah, getting quarter panels, yeah.
It's like they did a good impression of Leeds United throwing away such an advantageous position. So here we go. Here is the incident. So yeah, he slots back in nicely. Whoever at number 10, Glatzel, he was a bit slow, wasn't he, on the exit of the hairpin?
Yeah, he went for the ultra tight late apex. And
which was a bit. If he'd have just, if he'd have carried a bit more speed on the exit, I probably wouldn't have. I'll be honest. I think it probably surprised McFarlane quite a bit. Did that? And where's Baxter versus Simmons for P4? Adam, and this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4 for ERT if Simmons makes it through on the highest remaining V-Racer car, who He's been in the wars, hasn't he, Baxter? His car, you can tell, is not in perfect condition, but hey, he's still in the battle.
The entire team's been in the wars today. Where has Simmons gone? There he goes. And he should pull ahead by the time we get into the corner. I don't think Baxter's going to be too over-ambitious out. Break him there. Little touch of the grass almost by Simmons as he vaults over the curbs and has a shocking run. And it's going to be...
Very nearly binned it, didn't he? Just like the other guys earlier on did.
Yeah, it's going to be Simmons.
Right side then.
Yeah, into the first corner. Simmons around the outside. They're both giving each other plenty of space, but it's going to be Simmons' corner almost on the inside. But we have seen cars get runs here.
Nice even drag from turn 2. Now Simmons is on the inside here, and he throws it in.
That's a lot.
And if he hasn't got to slow down there, he's done well. But yeah, he's made it. It looks like good move there.
Something was kicking off with the likes of Paul Smith and Jamie Rushworth. I'm guessing as they were going through the final corner. Just realised
something must have kicked off because Rushworth's actually gone second behind Smith. So I wonder if they've had a bit of coming together.
Here is a replay of what potentially
Smith
could have
up
happened.
15 places. Doing a good Ash Sutton impression.
Slowdown for 2 cars. Jamie Rushworth and that looks like Dan Hunt. So
Smith and co. and McIntyre and that. I'm just going to sort of say, oh, well, thank you for the free positions that you've just given us.
It's a race against who cannot be slowed down, it looks like here at the moment. One person that can't be stopped or can't be slowed down anyway as things stand with as we're about to start the final lap is Wojciech Savinovic. He's got a 3.7 second lead now. Looks set to take his, as he looks at the stats sheet, it looks set to take his 5th win of the season, one less than Ash Sutton.
This is round 19, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's 5 out of 19 wins. That would be pretty impressive. Jack McIntyre and Michael Blake are side by side then. McIntyre, who I believe was sunning it up in Monaco last week.
Oh, what are they doing?
Oh my goodness me!
They're trying to put each other in the rowing lake on the left-hand side.
So the one that was in store for the 1976 Olympics, was it?
Yes. Now hosts the F1 raft race on a weekend.
Yeah, it's gone down in the. It's gone a little bit down in prestige, hasn't it? Arguably up in technology, though, potentially. Now they're going. Oh, trying again. Blake continues to resist. Good driving. P12, 4th in the AMS.
I'll do him, especially with the cushion, the relatively comfortable cushion that he's got in terms of the Pro-Am Championship. He's got a 42-point lead over Maciej Sakovic, who is slightly just 1 place ahead of him. So he's within arm's reach, but I don't think he's going to get past him with half a lap to go.
Probably shouldn't do. Although Baxter and Simmons is it's very close again. Simmons having to just park it on the very nicely done. Oh, Bosch! He parks it on the apex though, Simmons. That is a perfect strategy. He might get slipstream though here. Might be in a bit of bother coming to the last corner, but Wojciech Savinovic, Adam, he's coming to the last corner. He's going to take the win.
Yeah, great job by him. He's going to be 1 win behind Ash Sutton this season. It's going to be a 7th win of the season for Wojciech Savinovic, who comes across the line and takes the checkered flag here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like, because both V-Racer cars, Baxter and McFarlane, have been unable to get by Simmons. So it's Savinovic, Chepelevsky, Cedric and Simmons completing the podium.
Baker's had a problem. Daniels is through. Thinks to slow down for Dave Baker on the final lap. So Will Daniels takes 9th place. And another couple of points for the AM category.
Now, what's going on here? Someone's got a slowdown penalty, and have they been able to serve it before they got over the line? Jamie Rushworth looked like a slowdown penalty. We'll wait and see when the results get passed over. Sven Glatzel was looking set for a podium, but now finishes in 18th place. He might be rescued by the reverse grid.
It did not look like a good race for Rushworth at all. He hit walls. He was getting slow down penalties. He hit a couple of other drivers. Not the best.
This was going on while we were looking at Wojciech cross the line. Michael Blake apparently getting crashed into. It might just be that he was parking the car on the apex and it thought he had crashed, and to be fair, that looks like what happened as they go through the hairpin.
It seems all right though at the moment.
Guessing that's what it was. If that makes if that makes sense.
Oh.
I got away just at the moment, didn't I? No overtakes that happened as a result of that. Don't worry. They all stayed the same.
All right.
Further ado, let's get the race results up.
Indeed. So Wojciech Swidovic then with his 6th win of the season, winning by 4.3 seconds over his teammate Stelian Chepelevsky. And then there's an ERT 1, 2, 3, 4, Jack Sedgwick and George Simmons making up that quartet. Stephen Baxter in 5th for V-Racer alongside Ross McFarlane, who was started on pole position. Pete Harrod in 7th, Adam McNally 8th, Will Daniels in 9th, McNally, of course, winning the AM category. Dave Baker 10th after the slowdown, Michael Blake 11th, Jack McIntyre in 12th. Maciek Sakovic was 13th ahead of Daniel Hunt, and then Paul Smith, who Smith made 14 places up, biggest mover in the field. And then Jamie Rushworth 16th, Chris Woods 17th, Sven Glatzel in 18th after those shenanigans with his teammate. Then John Roberts in 19th, Mike Woodhouse 20th, Robert Graham in 21st, Robert Lundgren in 22nd, Scott Malcolm 23rd, 24th for Carl Hardy, 25th for Sean Gardner, Dan Brown in 26th, Kip Stevens 27th. He did finish the race in the end, albeit 1 lap down. And then the retirements, only 3. Max Wright in the wall at the World Champions, James McRitchie on his roof just after the final corner, Adam Hedgecock quarter-panelled into the wall at the hairpin.
Great. Well, it's time for the first reverse grid of the evening. And we've got plenty of numbers to choose from. If it's number 18, which is what it's on at the moment, that would be Sven Glatzel. And he would love that. But let's spin it now and see who's going to be on the pole. The answer is full -1.
So full -1 goes to Daniel Brown. So Kip Stevens will be a bit annoyed with that, but Dan Brown certainly won't. He goes on to pole. Sean Gardner's going to be 2nd, Carl Hardy 3rd, Scott Malcolm 4th, and Robert Lundgren will be starting in 5th. So all the AMs at the front. It's going to be a good one when we come back on Apex Racing TV. So stick with us for more from the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Welcome back to the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We are live on the grid for round 2 of the evening, round 20 of the season. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath with you. It's Dan Brown on pole position, with Sean Gardner alongside him, Carl Hardy in 3rd, Scott Malcolm 4th, and Robert Lundgren in 5th. Race 1 winner, Wojciech Savidovic, courtesy of the reverse grid wheel, starts in 26th place. So 8 AM drivers at the front. Let's see who's going to make it through turns 1 and 2 in the lead, because whoever does is going to have a great chance of taking race victory. Here we go then. 5 red lights are coming on. And the green light is on. Good start by Brown. Got away well, Gardner away decently as well. Hardy alongside him into turn 1. Got to be careful of the braking here. Can get sideways. As I found out to my cost a few times. As they're piling into turn 2, Adam, it looks like so far everybody's okay. Bit of 3 wide going on in the middle.
They're really trying to find their own bit of track. Good start by Will Daniels. 4 places gained. 3 cars look set to have started from the pit lane. Jimmy Rushworth, Dan Hunting, Kip Stevens. A bit of 2 wide going through the Ryanda. This might not work on cold tyres. Shades of
Lance Stroll.
Yes,
and
Lance Stroll. Brendan
and
Hartley.
who was it? Oh, Lundgren got quarter panelled, I think.
Paul Smith.
Oh, and he's into Smith. And Smith into him again.
Oh! Oh dear me.
Big right there. Although, I think everyone's avoided him, largely. Dear me, Robert Lundgren out of the race. Dan Brown continues to lead then. And his lead is 1.35 seconds, Adam. Good stuff.
I was just about to say before the race got underway, this is a great opportunity for many of these Pro-Am drivers to get a race victory here. If you look at the split, it is pretty much every single Pro-Am driver in the field, bar take 1 or 2, are in the top 15. And then after that, it's the quick guys. So this is a great opportunity for them to get some points. And for the likes of Graham, Woodhouse, Roberts and Wood, they can potentially close the gap on Michael Blake, who's down in 14th place as we come around to complete the opening lap.
Yeah, great start by Brown. He's really eked this lead out on the first lap. David Baker, who I know from experience, very good around here. He was the one chasing me down in season 7, basically, whenever that was. He was in second place that day. So Baker can come through the field, Adam. We know he can overtake round here.
And they'll be able to gain some time on the guys like in front of them because they're battling each other so hard like this. Yeah, they're doing...
off Hardy, and he's going to get a slowdown. Surely that's going to be.
Oh my!
Oh, and he was on the kind of on the line there, and he's in the marbles. He's looking not to hit the wall. Oh, V-Racer car, all sorts of out of shape.
It's like Lance Stroll trying to let by the leaders in the Monaco Grand Prix at the weekend. That didn't.
Who was it that Lance Stroll crashed with in turn 5 or whatever in 2017? He had a big crash with was it Sainz?
Oh, at Monaco.
No, at Canada.
Sure, there was Perez and Massa that had that big.
That was a big one. Turn 1, yeah.
In 2014, yeah. Oh, it was
No,
Stroll.
I'm thinking of the one where he was humping the guardrail.
Oh, Stroll and Hartley.
Hartley, that's it.
Yeah. Here is Will Daniels. He's got Paul Smith, who has been bashed about from bumper to bonnet here. Going down the back straight.
I don't think he would mind, but he was off the track when he got hit. He was trying to get off the track, I think.
Smith's car's aerodynamically deficient.
Wojciech Svidovic, 10 positions gained, Adam, and they're mostly the faster drivers who he's overtaken as well.
Yeah.
That's so slow down.
Yeah.
Oh. Horrible one for him. And Wojciech Svidovic is going to go through, I think.
Oh my God, that's second place.
Off goes Malcolm and Graham. 2 Scotsmen in problems.
Now, what's happened here? Because this is causing the timing screen to go haywire. There's Rob Graham, who's now got a slowdown penalty because he missed the first chicane entirely. And he's
Might be crabbing slightly, that as well.
Right, what happened?
So
Graham?
he tries to overtake Gardner, misses it altogether. Oh! Oh, Rob Graham there, not covering himself in glory that time. Scott Malcolm, he was the innocent party that time. No, nothing he could do at all. Woodhouse up in a second, and that puts McIntyre into third.
Yeah, it's because John Roberts has got a slowdown penalty. He dropped all the way down from second to 7th. I'm in the space.
Sean Gardner is off.
Oh, what a disaster for Boosted this is.
Yeah. Now plummeted down the order. All of them, it looks like. Wood and Daniels fighting it out in the hairpin.
Wojciech Svidovic is up to 11th place as well now. 15 places gained. He's right in the mix there. Number 1. He's just about got by Carl Hardy and is up into P11 now. 15 places gained. Next up on the list is the Pro-Am Championship leader, Michael Blake. Is he going to try and get past him into the chicane? No, he isn't. But Sven Glatzel has definitely got by Carl Hardy. And
he'll pass him out of the chicane. They got a horrible run.
Yeah.
Here comes Svidovic then. Multiple-time champion. Is he 3 times champion or 4? I forget.
Won it in
Brain's not working properly.
Season 6. Won it in 2016. Won it in 2017 and 18, didn't he? I don't think anyone stopped him.
No.
In between that.
It's just 4 times champion, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Glatzel in the back of the helicopter shot. Yeah, nice move.
Nice move. His car's battered and bruised, but staying in the race. Sven Glatzel not giving up. Oh, here's a move, a lunge. Oh, he's got, look at that. How he's slotted in there. There's hardly any room at all. And George Simmons just like, it's like that advanced parallel parking that you see in McNally's been zonted there. Oh, and now he's got the blazes back.
As someone takes evasive action there, 2 cars take evasive action across the grass and the gravel. That's the V-Racer car driven by Will Daniels. Mark Woodhouse in the Team Mad car also suffering. This is going to allow Roberts through, Smith through, and the CQR car, Baker potentially through too.
McNally did a great job there, didn't he? To just brake.
Yeah.
It says Daniels and Woodhouse have crashed.
Oh.
Just because they were going that slowly around the hairpin, was it?
Probably, because they're still there. We can see them, and Paul Smith's getting harassed here by Will Daniels with the car.
Although it says James McRitchie's crashed a couple of times. I don't know if he has or not.
Crossing over the curves, yeah, McRitchie's having not the best race meeting so far. He has gained 5 places. What state is the car in, though, as the camera cuts back? So, everything's fine.
Maybe just either a spin or a slowdown or something.
Forward check versus Woodhouse.
Woodhouse then on the inside. Oh, he's through Savinovic. He's really making this look easy, isn't he?
One of the best. He's having a great season so far. Ash Sutton leading the championship going into this one. Isn't here for the first time this season. Might be away doing a bit of testing. I don't know, but.
By the way, Brown has a 6-second lead nearly.
Dan Brown, just looking at his, taking a quick glance at his stats. What's his best finish in the BSRTC to date? And the answer to that is he's been on the podium once. Best finish was a oh dear, it was not too sure. He's been on the podium once. His best finish was a 3rd in race 1 of the season at Brands, I think. Oh, so no, it was the second. It was the 2nd at Okayama. So looking to go one better here.
Svidovic and Baker then going at it. Old rivals here.
And
also then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
McNally v McIntyre. Down the back straight here under the Dodge Bridge and into the chicane. It's going to be the Excite Energy racing car that's going to get it done unless he gets a poor run on the exit, which he just about gets away with. We'll see if McNally can, McIntyre can get the slipstream down the front straight and try and get the move back done again into the first corner.
Thinking about it, Smith having a look at... Smith having a look at Roberts. Very nearly succumbed to Daniels there. I wonder if that's what Smith is doing actually, Adam, if he's wanting to get through because he knows that Daniels, Svidovic and Baker are just behind him. He needs to get a move done, put a car between he and the slightly faster gentleman behind.
Oh, this is the most tightly congested battle on the circuit. As McIntyre looks like he's got back past McNally. You can see that right at the front of the shot as
there's somebody off. Or a couple of people went very wide. That allows Smith, it forced Smith and Daniels to go a bit slower through that medium speed chicane. This is a good chicane, isn't it, Adam, this one? Not a too wide one, though.
If you nail it, it's properly satisfying, especially on the F1 games, because you can take a bit of liberty with a curb. Don't tell Codemasters that. But, yeah.
I've also hit the wall my fair share of times. 3 wide, nearly. That was George Simmons coming in hot and rogering Baker.
God, it's just a sea of red on the timing screen. Oh,
I can hear crashing at the hairpin, but I've chose to ignore it. So here's Svidovic then trying to get Smith. Smith late on the brakes. Oh, he moves across slightly. Keeps that though. Keeps it nicely. And he's got enough of a slipstream, Adam, that he may keep it into turn 1. Svidovic is going to have a lunge here. And there's a car on the inside going slowly.
Yeah,
that's McIntyre.
Surely a slowdown penalty for him. He's going to have to relinquish all those places down to 8th
McIntyre
place.
was in 2nd place.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's all going wrong for V-Racer today, isn't it? This is McNally then. And
the trademark.
We didn't really see...
I'll get it up again for you. Here we go.
Did you just cut the second part slightly, maybe?
Seems...
It's a bit harsh if he's been given one for that. 4 wheels off, though. He was 4 wheels off. 4 wheels inside the white line. Fair enough, that probably counts as a cut. Here's McFarlane and Woodhouse then. Going side by side through the faster chicane. And on the way down to the hairpin. I don't say down to the hairpin, there's no hill, really. It's just on the way to the hairpin, isn't it? Roberts versus
Smith. Yeah.
Roberts versus Daniels. Is that Roberts taking 4th position? Oh my goodness me.
Paul Smith's been passed by Wojciech. That's because Paul picked up a slowdown penalty, it looks like. But boosted and he's gone. He's back.
He's back. Is he alongside? Is he going to go for it? John Roberts, is he going to be bold? No, probably wisely. Oh, he hits the grass on the way in. That's going to mess him up a bit.
Oh, nearly drift dead through the final corner there. It's not an over-exuberant boosted pun, but it is a boosted pun nonetheless as they start lap 8.
He may stay ahead of Savinovic here just. And he has. And Smith was in 6th place about a lap ago. Ended up not so much.
It's corners like that which are a Kia Optima's nightmare. It's the uphill, slightly cornered right-hander.
Yeah, uphill and long, quite long corners. The car just doesn't like it, does it?
You're trying to get the wheel to turn, and it ain't doing anything. Oh, Smith's hit the wall, and he could be doing a. Oh, I thought he was heading straight to Lance Stroll, Brendan Hartley territory there. Yeah, the Landers Stroll.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Me.
Oh my word. Well, this is Woodhouse. It's McIntyre, Chepelewski, David Baker, George Simmons, Sven Glatzel, Michael Blake, Maciej Zakovic. And then at the back of that, coming onto it, is Sedgwick and Hedgecock. So, and someone's got a bit wide.
Thought we'd retreated to I think we've retreated to a safe enough distance in case of what happens here.
Don't know. We've seen Kia Optimus come this high up as to the hairpin we go. A little nudge by Cheppy. McIntyre still resists though. Smith versus McFarlane. Just ahead of them. It's McFarlane then. Just dragging ahead of Smith on the straight. Probably the slightly less damage helping him out there. Smith with a fair bit of damage at the moment, to be honest. Nobody's been in the Wall of Champions yet, to our knowledge, in this race. So it's a little better.
Wojciech versus Roberts.
He's missed that, has he? No. Carried so much speed in there, Wojciech, didn't he?
And remember at the beginning of the race when it was all just green down the left-hand side of the timing tower, the blue is starting to infect those guys at the front of the field. It's like a game of infected on Call of Duty, this.
It's really starting to pick up for the pros. Still 4 Rams leading the way, though, without any usurpers. Oh! McNally and Daniels, they're doing their best to make it not an AM 1, 2, 3, 4. By clobbering each other. Again, though, Adam, you always get the feeling when people like Savinovic and McFarlane and McIntyre and Chepelewski coming up behind you that you really need to get a move on and get past the car in front, otherwise you're just going to get swamped.
Yeah, from us sitting up here, there's almost an air of inevitability about it. But if you're in the car, even for people like us, if you see Wojciech Savinovic behind you, you're going to try your best as a little bit of a nudge, get a move on, says Wojciech. You're going to try your best to keep him behind, which is what Daniels is doing. He's going to struggle
to get past like this, though, isn't he? Because he's too close almost.
Oh, he's over
but he hasn't closed the line.
It's battle of the late breakers, and it's going to be Daniels if he can make it.
It's brilliant if he can do it.
He does.
As he cut the course, though, on the first part, he was 4 wheels inside the white line. He may have just got away with this. Why not try and defend this line? Because why not at all? Because he has to try. Savinovic going for the big lunge into 2. He leaves it open. Oh, only a little bit.
It's great to be sat on board with Savinovic, watching him at work there. That was great. Obviously, when you're trying to get past AM drivers, they're not the usual drivers you are racing with on a regular basis. So you've got to take that little extra bit of caution. I wonder if that's what Wojciech is doing here, is we've got 3.5. Oh, God!
Oh, Roberts! No caution there!
Oh, hell.
Puts the car in the middle of the track. Hopefully everybody sees it.
Fortunately, he's just about enough down the road so that anybody coming around the corner should just about miss him. But wow, what a hit. What a hit,
and
son.
He should make it to the end.
Oh, he did what you did. But
he didn't get as lucky with the bounce, though, did he?
No.
Oh, that's exactly what I did. And you have to try. You have to try and get as close to that inside wall as possible, don't you? But yeah, I got lucky that day. I just got a slight nudge and then I hit the barrier basically perfectly. He's launched off the barrier slightly, unfortunately for him. I thought he was taking pro tips from me for a second, Adam, but it didn't quite go to plan, did it, sadly?
God, McNally's about to get engulfed here. Daniels to the outside into the chicane. Over the curve. Oh, God! Oh!
Oh, what's happened?
Wojciech's going to get all of them. And he's going to be up into third place, surely. Here comes Ross McFarlane. He's managed to capitalise on all three of these lot, making a right mess of that final chicane.
Sorry, I looked away for 5 seconds and there it was.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
It wasn't. Oh! Still hitting each other.
Yeah, Daniels is not letting Savinovic get away if he's... Oh, he's going to...
Oh, he is! Oh, no, he's not. I thought he was going for it. That was the old Jensen Button lunge into there, wasn't it? When he took out Fernando Alonso and got him beached on the...
Sent him to the back of the field again. That race, and he still managed to win.
It was just like naughty boy continued to get punished, wasn't it? Just go to the back. Go to the back and stay there.
Give the field as much of a head start as he could, and he still managed to win the race.
He took Hamilton out, he took Alonso out, he took everyone else. Took a couple of others out, I think, along the way.
A couple of drive-throughs. It's like us.
The drive-throughs, a puncture, and everything happened to him.
It's like us in the championship. We didn't get started till March. We tried to give the league as much of a head start as we could.
Yeah, and we were Charles Leclerc in Bahrain, sadly. And even the safety car that is the playoffs couldn't save us come the end of it. I thought that's a perfect analogy, because that's exactly where he finished, isn't it?
Finished third, yeah.
Finished third, yeah. Now, McFarlane, I think Daniels may have to defer to his teammate here. And it might be the sensible thing, because if anyone's going to get Savinovic, that's got to be a slowdown. Has to be a slowdown. Cut so much of the inside there, McFarlane. Has to be. Don't know how it wasn't.
I think we're learning today what liberties you can take. But then when we see replays,
McNally's through.
Yeah, McNally's got past Daniels as well. I wonder if there may just be a problem or something with the V-Racer car. But we saw a slowdown penalty earlier where we looked like there was nothing wrong really, and then they got a slowdown penalty as a result. So. Look at the draw, really, I guess, as we start the final lap.
And then there's people going like well inside the curbs and getting absolutely nothing for it. But yeah.
Right, last lap of the race. Dan Brown is set for his first win of the season. Chris Wood looks set to follow him home in second.
He must have some naked pictures of the stewards or something to get away with that. Now, Daniels is going to try to get his 5th place back. One thing he is doing very well, Daniels, is braking late. Was doing that against Savinovic. Outbraking Savinovic isn't easy to do. I know that from experience, and I've tried it. Doesn't work very well.
Under the bridge, which threw that shoe at Danica Patrick, as up the inside goes Daniels. Somebody...
Yeah. And oh dear, that race had everything. And here comes Daniel Brown. Then Adam, he's gonna take it. He's coming through the last corner. Do not hit the wall, fella. Oh God.
Here he comes. It was Wojciech. It was an experienced man taking another win. It's going to be a first win. Oh, is he going to slow down, or is he just celebrating? Hopefully, it's the latter. Dan Brown wins. It's going to be a Pro-Am 1-2 with Chris Wood finishing in second. And
yeah, because if it isn't, he'll get
demoted.
Pretty much sent to the back, won't he? Yeah, 45 seconds, I think it is.
And Savinovic completing the podium after starting way down the order. It was a full -1. Let's not forget, he manages to get a podium.
26th place for him after winning race 1. So excellent work by Svidovic, really was. It's not I wouldn't call it a hard place to overtake here, but you've got to have some conviction in your moves to get the overtakes done, and he certainly did today. Svidovic, Gardner desperately trying to chase down Graham. Both of these guys have been in the wars, but he's going to finish the race. Sean Gardner in 26th position, and that completes the field. And yeah, we've got the race 2 standings coming up on your screen now. Daniel Brown takes the win, 5 seconds over Chris Wood. Really good domination of the race by Brown. Wood in second, Svidovic in third, McFarlane in 4th place. Great result from him. It's funny, Ross McFarlane, he finished higher up this time than he did when he started on pole position. Adam McNally in 5th, Will Daniels in 6th, Jack McIntyre 7th, Stalin Chepelevsky in 8th, Sven Glatzel in 9th, David Baker rounds out the top 10, Paul Smith in 11th, Michael Blake 12th, 13th for Magic Sakovic, and Jack Sedgwick in 14th. Daniel Hunt in 15th, George Simmons 16th, 17th for Mark Woodhouse, Adam Hedgecock in 18th, 19th for Jamie Rushworth. Not the best meeting for him, it seems. James McRitchie in 20th, John Roberts 21st, Carl Hardy 22nd, Kip Stevens, not a great one for him either, in 23rd, Scott Malcolm 24th, Robert Graham 25th, Sean Gardner in 26th. And then the retirements, there were 4, Max Wright, Robert Lundgren, Pete Harrod, who we haven't really seen tonight at all, and Stephen Baxter.
Ah, great. So we do get a 4-1. It'll be Graham on the pole, with Malcolm alongside him on the front row. That'll be interesting, especially what happened after they went into turn 1 earlier on in the race. With Kip Stevens 3rd, Carl Hardy 4th, John Roberts 5th. But for all that to happen, we've got to do the reverse grid first. And we did have 4-1 last time. What are the odds of us getting it again? Very little, I imagine. But let's spin it anyway.
Hey, who knows?
Funny, who's going to be on pole? You know what? It's going to be 4-1 again.
And that's going to be Robert Graham. So Robert Graham in 25th place is going to get the pole, alongside Scott Malcolm, Kip Stevens in 3rd, Carl Hardy 4th, and, as Adam said, John Roberts in 5th. And we're going to come back and see how that all unfolds after the break here on Apex Racing TV. So join us again in about 15 minutes' time, and we'll be back for more from the circuit. Gilles Villeneuve.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Welcome back to the BSRTC here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath with you, and we'll bring you the grid. It's two Scotsmen at the front that collided earlier on. See if it happens again. Rob Graham and Scott Malcolm, then Kip Stevens, Carl Hardy and John Roberts, and the 5 lights are out. And the race is underway. Terrible start by Rob Graham. And who's that coming up the middle? Kip Stevens, what a start. He's challenging Malcolm then through turn 1 and into 2. God. Glatzel dropping down.
Loads of cars in the... Oh, time is good.
Oh, there's a collision at the back. There's some cars off the circuit and stationary.
Yeah, Harrod's done. Glatzel's done.
Sean Gardiner is one of them as well. Harrod as well. Harrod's had a terrible meeting. Really has.
He'll be very glad it's week 13.
Oh, Carl Hardy has pushed Rushworth almost off.
Here comes McRitchie. The first time we've seen him near the front of the field because he's been crashing in every single race.
And crashed into, I think, a few times. Oh, well.
Wow.
Oh, how was there no contact there between all that lot? Brilliant. Big gaggle, huge gaggle. Simmons versus Hardy into the hairpin.
Oh, McRitchie out of control almost. The asymmetric car tried everything to get on the brakes. Well, Daniels has done something. He's returned to the pits. I wonder if he's managed to fly out of the track, because he hasn't been shown as jumped to the pits. So I reckon that might be something to look at in a minute.
Indeed.
into the final corner. It's Roberts versus Stevens. Oh, and here comes Rushworth.
Here we go then. So Scott Malcolm leads the way. He's got a good lead, 2.3 seconds. He'll enjoy seeing that on his relative. Rushworth going into second place. Roberts trying to fight. Rushworth has had a poor meeting so far. I think 19th and 20th, I think it was for him.
Oh, great move by Simmons around the outside there up into P3.
It's brave, that. It's very tight, very narrow chicane.
This is where John
very close to the inside. Whoa, he's going to go for the inside. He touches him. And Roberts goes off the goes sideways.
Oh.
And now he's going to get the place. So I'm not quite sure that he should be taking the place there, because that's as a result of him hitting him, isn't it?
Oh, Kip Stevens is in trouble. Something's gone wrong.
Slow down, surely.
Yeah, probably a mother of all
even on lap 2, because if you don't have a representative lap time, that's when you get knackered by the slowdown, not the showdown. Not that far into the season already.
We get knackered by the showdown. On the brakes.
It'll be a lot shorter this week, isn't it? This season, isn't it?
Yeah, not too many races as before. McRitchie.
It's 5 races or 4 races?
Oh,
Blake's dropping down. Oh, he's sideways. Oh, he's off.
And the Pro-Am yeah, disaster for the Pro-Am leader. Let's have a quick look what happened to Will Daniels. Oh dear, now that already happened.
It's not gone well.
I'm intrigued to work out how he's ended up not having to tow back to the bits.
Where is that?
That's the second chicane before the hairpin, isn't it?
Yeah, that's on the inside.
While we're looking at this, here's what happened to Sven Glatzel.
Oh,
God.
That's on lap 1.
So he ran off on the outside, then is he gonna... Oh,
he hits his teammate.
And then flies into the...
And you have to wonder, Adam, how many times V-Racer are gonna... I mean, that's twice now in this meeting.
Yeah, he collided with Ross McFarlane in race 1. This time he's going to collide with... Is that Ross McFarlane again? I think it might have been,
it's
actually.
Like... Surely going to have words with him, because it's getting a bit silly now.
Yeah. And how does Pete Harrod get
at least... And then he had the rejoin into the middle of the traffic in the first race. He's got to just... he just doesn't seem to engage the brain sometimes. But here's... I don't know who that was there.
That's Harrod getting going again.
That's Harrod, yeah. So what happened to him?
He was alright in the end. What happened to Michael Blake? I don't think we'll actually ever know. But Steve
he's up into 20th place, is Harrod at the minute.
This has happened to Steve Baxter. I think it might just be a case of getting on the anchors, or maybe not.
There goes.
Adam McNally.
47. Yeah. And then, what happened to Daniels then? Did we see it? Oh, that's it's Malcolm getting sideways. Then he's had to relinquish the lead and a bit more. As Rushworth goes to the front. Rushworth, Simmons, Sedgwick. Malcolm's had to give up 4th to Savidovic and probably 5th to Roberts.
And this is how the lead changed hands. Runs wide on the exit of the second chicane, and then is Rushworth just going to pass him around the outside. Simmons thankfully decides not to go up through the middle. And it looks like the CQR car is just going to get the job done around the outside. So it's Rushworth leading. Simmons is going to get by 2 and is up into 2nd. Sedgwick up in 3rd. Wojciech Savidovic, who's finished 1st and 3rd so far tonight, is up in P4.
Yeah, great meeting from him. Looking for a 5th championship. The old drive for 5. Chris Wood and Stelian Chepelevsky. And millimetres away from each other. And Sakovic and McRitchie. Going hell for leather. At it with each other. Through that second chicane. And this is Hunt versus Woodhouse versus Baker. Oh, Hunt's lost it. I think he might have hit. He hits Baker, who hits Hardy. And that's because Hunt was a little late on the brakes. 3 wide again here. James McRitchie will be coming towards the last chicane with some trepidation after what happened in race 1.
Just in awe of this battle here as they come down the back straight, seeing what's going to happen into the chicane. Cars flying, McRitchie on the outside, takes a lot of that inside curb. Hopefully that's going to slow down penalty for him.
Bit of contact, but fairly clean. Hardy staying in the middle of the track. Might be getting swamped from the inside to the outside. Wojciech Svidovic sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:41.7. Oh, contact with Hardy. Hardy's gone wide. Wood's gone over the inside. Off goes. Another V-Racer car. There's a crash in the background as well. That's. I don't know who's round. It might be Max Wright that's round. The ultimate knock hill. I think he may have been punted.
This happened right in the background.
Happened to Max Wright then.
Let's keep Stevens
coming through turns 1 and 2. He gets hit by
Brown,
and he gets
Make sure he definitely gets sent out by Brown there, and that's him done for the day.
A few bits of slightly dodgy driving in this race. Malcolm, Dan Hunt, sorry, and the rest of them. Graham, I think it is. Baker versus Graham now. Graham's going to send it. Graham's going to send it. He sent it very well. Goes through past Baker, and that's really good from Rob Graham. And Dan Hunt looks to go through as well. He's going to get a slipstream here, Adam.
Trying to get a bit of side draft there too is Dave Baker on the outside. He's going to be on the outside for the chicane, which is the racing line. They're getting very, very close. And Rob Graham could be about to get mugged here unless he brakes well enough, and he does. That's not going to go well. Too close for comfort there.
James McRitchie nearly got the same thing that happened to him in race 1 there, and now he's getting Chepelevsky having a look. That'll be all too real in virtual reality, I'll tell you that now. Up the inside for Cheppy. McRitchie hung out to dry slightly, under pressure from Woodhouse now. Mark Woodhouse. Look on the inside.
He just turns
McRitchie turns across. Contact, but he survives. Somehow gets a bit of a gap from doing that. Decent move in the end, I guess.
And just about brushed the wall for good measure. It's very close at the front. It's a 3-car scrap between Rushworth, Simmons and Sedgwick, all gunning for a race victory tonight. It was Svidovic in race 1, it was Dan Brown in race 2. It's going to be potentially either one of these 3, and if they mess up, Svidovic will thankfully take a second win of the evening.
Of course, if you're watching this for the first time, Jamie Rushworth is a former BSRTC champion. Simmons and Sedgwick haven't had that honour yet. But Simmons definitely has an opportunity this season, I think. So does Sedgwick. This is into the hairpin. We're looking at Paul Smith at the back of this group.
I think he just got on the anchors. Either way, he's coming to the pits. He's back in the pits now, is Paul Smith.
Don't know what's happened there.
Flying
over the curb at the last corner. Sedgwick very nearly into the wall of champions. The old Quebec wall. Look at this battle. We've got to go to Hunt, Baxter, Baker, Chepelevsky, McRitchie, all that lot, I think. Another lead battle's coming on, but I just wanted you to see the sheer spectacle of this.
Slow down for Malcolm, it looks like. Which is going to mean it's Graham versus Hunt. These two don't give an inch. And it's going to be Hunt that takes advantage.
Look at that. Place is swapping all the way through the field.
Bang!
Graham is out to cut the course. There's a crash. Baker's off.
Yeah. Innocent party and all that, it looked like.
Big damage to the side of his Kia Optima. James McRitchie sliding through turn 5. Not sure you really want to do that. It's a tricky corner. We saw John Roberts get caught out by it earlier on. And this is all backing up now behind Rob Graham. Simmons might be going for the lead as well, Adam. He's 1/10 apart.
Picture in picture. This you just cannot move from this. I think we might have to.
Chepelevsky versus Graham. We know Rob Graham's good under braking for the hairpin.
We go down the back straight.
Indeed. 1/10 apart at the front.
There we go. Briefly into the chicane. Let's see what happens. It's going to be Rushworth just about grimly.
Oh, heavy contact with the curb.
Oh. And it's going to be Rushworth that's going to pay. Sedgwick might even get both of them at this rate. Watch out for Wojciech. He could be there within a couple of laps. Sedgwick up the inside into the first
Sedgwick
corner.
sends it on his teammate. Rushworth desperately trying to hang on by his fingernails. He's trying to just grab anything he can find to stay in second place.
Just
Still
like
give himself a shot at the win.
Oh.
Simmons, Rushworth, Savinovic and Sedgwick.
And just like that, it's a 4-car scrap for the lead. Up the inside goes Sedgwick.
Trying that inside move into 6 again.
It's just going to allow Simmons to get away. This is what they want. Look, the gap's almost a second now.
Here comes Wojciech Savinovic as well, Adam. He's trying to find a way through, but I think he's going to be patient, see if anything happens here between these two.
Into the chicane. Rushworth is still going to be under pressure.
Very much single file through there, isn't it?
Yeah. Thankfully now for Rushworth's sake, it's just about his position, but now he's got to try and close that gap back down to Simmons. He will have the slipstream, and of course Simmons won't have that because he's in the lead. But what about this? He's not going to get much
slipstream from there, though, I don't think. He'll get a bit. They are 8 seconds ahead of Adam Hedgecock, though, so they can battle free of most of the constraints of being in a pack. That V-Racer car there, I don't know who that is. Car 3. I think it's McFarlane. It looks like it's handling horribly out there.
Gap down to 9.
Oh my goodness, Sedgwick.
And it looked like Simmons may have clipped the barrier. We just saw a few sparks flying there as they come across the line. We are nearly at 3/4 distance here. And
well, that'll explain the 0.3 of a second he lost, though.
Oh yeah, it's down to 7 tenths now.
But the longer we see this pressure from Jack Sedgwick, the harder it's going to be for Jamie Rushworth to close that gap back down to Simmons.
Slow down penalty for McRitchie. You can see him now down in 14th place, 8 places down from where he started.
Look on the timing tower, Adam, and just see all those orange numbers. You know, everybody's so close to each other.
It's just a sea of 2 or 3 tenths. This is probably one of the circuits where we get the shortest field spread over everybody, and Jack McIntyre is wheels wheel Kip Stevens.
Oh!
And
he's nearly in the wall.
It's the fight for a spot in the top 20 here as they fly through the right-hander. Tyres screeching to within an inch of their lives.
It really will be that as well, front-wheel drive, overcast conditions here, so
Jamie,
it'll be a little bit better for the tyres.
Slow down for Rushworth. It's now an Evolution Racing Team 1, 2, 3 again.
Don't know, Alex Simpson doesn't turn up, and they do this.
he turns up and they all get pit lane starts. Sorry, Alex.
He just shares them out, all his penalties. He just shares them out, one for each of them. Sorry, Alex. I'm so sorry. We're getting fired. Stevens in 18th place then is still hanging on, sort of in there with a battered car. But he's not hanging on at all, is he? He's dropping down further and further.
Rob Graham, he's tried his best, but it looks like the floodgates have finally opened. And here's now Pete Harrod trying to get by, going through the final chicane. Clips to clear that inside curb, and watch out for Steve Baxter too.
Harrod needs a good result. He really does here. Needs a top 10 if at all possible, but he's only got 4 laps to, well, maybe 4 laps, 3 laps, maybe to actually make that happen. Some of the lap times that are down in the lower reaches of the race, 45s, 47s we're seeing from some people, 42s at the front.
Yeah,
it's all sort of messed up and congested and you know, sort of scrappy it's becoming, that midfield pack. This is a good example of that. Graham, Harrod and Baxter, last time around, Rob Graham at the head of this field did a 46.3. And like I said, the leader, George Simmons, 142.7.
Harrod.
So these guys are 4 seconds off the pace down here.
Which is why they're all desperate to try and get past this Automech Knock Hill car. It looks like
the Monaco Grand Prix, isn't it, last week, where you had some cars miles off the pace, holding back 5 or 6 cars. Oh, now he's moving across Harrod. And now that's caused the quarter panel of Graham by the V-Racer car. But, I mean, that wasn't really, whoever the V-Racer car was, it didn't look like really his fault. And now it's closed up at the front again. Let's have a look. So I think this is... Oh, no. Yeah, it's Graham just actually turning across, not seeing the V-Racer car at all, I think, there, Adam.
I think I might.
Surely not.
Agree there.
Bit of the old chase cam action there.
Yeah, I know. We've got it at our disposal, may as well use it.
Not wrong with that, eh?
This is a game after all. I know some people that think it isn't. But yeah, lap 11, just over 2 minutes to go. I'm sure it's in the slogan. 2 minutes to go then, and Jack Sedgwick versus Simmons versus Savinovic for the win, and any one of them could take the win, and I'm sure the team will be happy. Obviously, Wojciech won race 1, he finished 3rd in race 2, may as well finish 2nd in race 3, and then he's got the gold, the silver, and the bronze trophies to take away from this one. I don't know.
It's a good job that EA Sports don't make iRacing, otherwise we'd be paying to commentate on it.
Ah.
Have to buy FIFA points to just commentate on the iRacing.
Yeah, packs of whatever.
Yeah, you get the fastest cars because you have the packs.
Ultimate Team, I've packed Toto Wolff. Potentially. Or, yeah. Potentially. 90 seconds.
You wouldn't want... Yes. You wouldn't want to pack Vadim Kogai, would you?
No.
The ultimate, really. Now then, this is getting really tense at the front. 3 drivers, 1 lap, all to play for. Now, having said that, they are all teammates, so sometimes that doesn't mean that much, and sometimes it means everything. Here comes Wojciech Savinovic. He's looking for that extra few points.
Cedric was determined not to give him that second place there. He literally sped his way around the outside to make sure that he kept Savinovic at bay. Meanwhile, one ERT car is also on the move. Oh,
that's going to happen, isn't it?
Well, you just knew that was going to happen.
Oh, Bosch. That gap was always closing.
V-Racer have been in the wars today by without a shadow of a doubt.
So Simmons has a lead of 5 tenths. Jack Sedgwick up 10 positions, as you can see on your screen, from where he started. Oh, John Roberts has been off. But here we go. We're still focused on this battle then. I don't think we're going to see any more changes. Has Wojciech Savinovic backed off slightly, Adam, or is he just waiting for the last opportunity? I think he's just giving himself a bit more space. He knows he's had a great meeting tonight.
Yeah, he almost bumped Sedgwick through the final of the second of the chicanes, and that distanced themselves a bit. But it looks like it's going to be Simmons that's going to come through to take. As I get the stat sheet up, it looks like he's set to take his first win of the season as well.
Here we go then. George Simmons out to the final corner for Evolution Racing Team. Comes through and he takes round 3 of the evening here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Round 21 belongs to him. Well done. Jack Sedgwick in 2nd place. Great performance. And likewise, Wojciech Savinovic in 3rd. And here's the battle. Still going on in the lower reach of the top 10.
The final chicane. Flying over the curb. Sakovic trying to get past Woodhouse. Top Pro-Am driver Adam Hedgecock. He finishes in P5. That's a very good result for him, considering Michael Blake is all the way down in 19th place. It is very close between Baxter. It was very close between Baxter and Baker, as they've now crossed the line. What about Stevens and Graham, or Stevens and Blake for that matter? Blake keeps the former BSRTC champion at bay. I'm intrigued to see what that's going to have done to the championship, with Blake all the way down there and Hedgecock up at the top. Don't know whether it will change by the time we go off air tonight, but yeah, and everybody else has now finished. And we did say earlier that it's It's one of the quickest races of the season in terms of the amount of cars that cross the line. And there you go, we've already got everybody finished and done.
Yeah, indeed, and yeah, not a long race at all. It may have felt like it for George Simmons. He was defending that position quite hard in the end. Jack Sedgwick in second place. Wojciech Savidovic was in third. Jamie Rushworth put up a big defence, but I think ultimately just didn't quite have the pace tonight to deal with the very fastest guys. Adam Hedgecock in fifth, Stalin Chepelevsky in P6, seventh for Ross McFarlane, John Robertson eighth, Daniel Hunt in ninth, and Mark Woodhouse 10th. Incidentally, Adam Hedgecock winning the AM category, of course, there. Maciej Sakovic was 11th, Chris Wood was 12th, Pete Harrod in 13th place, David Baker in 14th, Stephen Baxter in 15th, then Jack McIntyre, then Daniel Brown, then James McRitchie in 18th, Michael Blake 19th, Kip Stevens 20th, 21st Robert Graham, and 22nd Scott Malcolm. They started 1 and 2, Adam, and they finished 21 and 22.
Yeah, and then after that we've got the retirees. Carl Hardy, he was near the front in the early going.
Bashed around a bit, didn't he? And I'm not sure exactly how he retired in the end, but
Sean Gardner quickly joining him on the sidelines too, 6 laps down. 8 laps down, you got a feel for him. Paul Smith, he was up there, he was punching up there, but eventually he had to throw the towel in, or whatever motoring related equivalent. Max Wright finishes in 26th, then Adam McNally 11 laps down, and V-Racer Will Daniels and Sven Glatzel out very early on indeed. Was that when both of them came together on the exit of the first corner? Probably.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. Great race again. Once again, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve throws up some really exciting stuff. Shows the quality of the field in a lot of ways. This is what happened to Will Daniels, and we'll finally see this. Comes into the chicane.
Oh, it is a V-Race.
Oh, that's got hit by another V-Racer, who then got hit by an XI Energy. So, goodness knows what. Goodness knows what went on there. Oh, there it is. 23.
McIntyre.
Right into the back of his teammate.
And then...
That's a great slow-mo shot there. And behind them was... I think it was Adam McNally who went into them.
Yeah.
In car 47.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely unbelievable... unbelievable goings on. V-Racer just couldn't get out of each other's way. It's all in that one. Crazy.
Right, while we wait to see if we do get any drivers that want to come and chat to us, it is worth reminding you that next week we have the week off. It's week 13.
Woohoo!
So who knows? The Kia might be completely different when we come back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they might sneak the Audi in there. I don't think they will, but stranger things have happened, haven't they, really?
Then we've got a run of 3 races before our next break. It is Watkins Glen. So the Slipstream Fest is back. Then we go to Le Mans on the 20th of June. And then
Slipstream Fest back.
Slipstream Fest again. And then we go to Alton Park for something slightly different. And it's a return to Alton Park as well, because for the past few seasons, like Donington, we haven't been able to go there because of the limited amount of grid spaces. But we'll be able to go there for that. And I think the last time I remember us having a race there was during when the BSRTC did those team races briefly. Long time ago. I think that was the year Sebastian Jobe won the title, 2015. I think that was the last time we were there. So looking forward to that.
I think we've got some great racing on tap, certainly on Apex Racing TV in the coming weeks. But it doesn't look like we're going to get any interview subjects. So I think on that one, it's probably time to end, Adam. But it's been a really fun meeting here, and once again, Gilles Villeneuve provides the entertainment.
Really does. The two street circuits, well, relatively speaking, have really provided the action over the last 2 weeks. Belle Isle last week and Circuit Gilles Villeneuve today. And now we can take stock and see what that's all going to have done to the championship when we get when we get ready to go to Watkins Glen in a couple of weeks. I have just refreshed the championship standings, and Savidovic has got a 60-point lead. So we'll see if anybody can catch him when we reconvene back on European soil in back on United States soil in a couple of weeks. Don't know where I am.
I never know really where I am. Just sort of turn up and go with it. But thank you very much, everybody, for watching here on Apex Racing TV. We've had a lot of fun. We hope you have too. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and smash the like button. Go on, do it. Why not? Turn on notifications as well. A little bell icon next to the subscribe button that gives you notification when we go live and when all our other videos come out. So from all of us here, from Andrew Woodhouse, from Adam Bath, and from the whole of the BSRTC, it's good night and enjoy your week 13, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.